An unseasonably warm September evening on the North Fork of Long Island as your defending CAA champion Stony Brook Seawolves welcome in the Ivy League's Yale Bulldogs to Laval Stadium right here on the Wax. We welcome you inside the broadcast booth upstairs at Laval Stadium. I'm Joey Jarzinka. We got a chance to chat with head coach Toby Bischoff following the Sunday draw against the New Hampshire Wildcats, former America East foe, after a 2-2 full-time result. Toby had told us just a few days ago, he said that, quote, our team felt very defeated at the end of that contest. Despite the draw and adding a 1 to their 4-2 overall win-loss record, he said that the team needs to start better and needs to mainly finish better as well. Injuries will also do that to you. We'll get a chance to discuss that throughout our broadcast. As for the Yale Bulldogs, head coach Sarah Martinez makes her return to where she had an assistant coaching stint just a few years ago. And for the Yale Bulldogs as well, something that she had told us after the 4-0 loss against the number 22 ranked team in the nation, Kansas, she said that our team simply did not get things started from first whistle and did not finish well at the end. And now they're going to regroup as a staff and see how they can come out hot against this defending CAA champion squad. We take a peek at our player spotlight first for the Stony Brook Seawolves. It's Hannah Maracina, the team's senior. Toby Bischoff had told us a few days ago, he said that consistency is key. Despite having just one start a season ago, he said that this year for Hannah Maracina, she'll be playing a much bigger role. 3 goals in her last 4 matches, including that LaSalle game-winning strike back on August 24th, looking to already surpass 400 minutes. The sophomore Vienna Lundstedt for the Yale Bulldogs, she's the reigning co-Ivy League Rookie of the Week, the Offensive Player of the Week, leads the team win a game in a matter of seconds. We'll see how that all comes about. Yale and Stony Brook when we return on the Wax from the North Fork of Long Island. We welcome you back inside Laval Stadium, Stony Brook and Yale on this Thursday evening. Non-conference women's soccer right here on the Wax. Cannot thank you enough for making us a part of your Thursday evening. Let's take a peek at the first 11 for Toby Bischoff. There's one change, and we discussed that in the broadcast open about some injuries that have took place for the Seawolves. And the number 2, Abigail Roach. Abby Roach will be getting her first collegiate start tonight in place for Eva Spruill, who is set to miss the next few games with a lower body injury suffered against New Hampshire this past Sunday. Let's take a peek now at the Yale Bulldogs first 11 for head coach Sarah Martinez, and what sticks out to all of you? Vienna Lundstedt, no surprise, again making her 6th start as the team's sophomore and the team's leading goal scorer. 2 goals, 9 total shots, and we'll talk more about her as the broadcast goes. Anita Thorvald-Stadi. And for those that don't know about her, Sarah Martinez says we might know about her tonight. We'll tell you more about that later on in the broadcast. Now we'll take a peek at our goalkeepers tonight. For Stony Brook to start things off is none other than Jona Hennings, the junior keeper out of Brake, Germany. Comes in with a 1.54 goals against average, 17 saves in her NCAA debut. Her collegiate debut this season, .630 save percentage. On the opposite side for the Yale Bulldogs is Kyla Holmes, the junior goalkeeper out of Newton, New Jersey. .821 save percentage, 32 saves, and a 1.40 goals against average. We'll tell you more about the two of them as we go along. Center referee tonight, Chris Muse. The AR1 on the near touchline, Michael Andrasio. His brother, Greg Muse, is the far touchline official, and Joseph Zastovitsky is the 4th official at the table. Stony Brook and Yale meeting for the 7th time, dating back to 2001. And this ball right in front, and again, nice and early, Stony Brook looking to get the bad taste out of their mouth from the New Hampshire draw. We spoke with head coach Toby Bischoff and just a couple of days ago, and something he told us, he said that we simply did not get it from start to finish. He said that it felt good to get things started on the right foot. He said they started the second half off well, but simply did not finish the way they want to. And he said, quote, they felt defeated. So how do you get back and figure things out against this tough Yale Bulldogs team? And he and Sarah Martinez, they know each other very well. Sarah was on this staff for a couple of seasons, 2016 to 2018. and a mini homecoming for the Seattle, Washington native. You saw Kyla Holmes on your screen just a few moments ago, making her 5th start. Got the loss against Kansas. 4 goals allowed, 6 saves, 19 total shots faced. And you look at that match, Yale was outshot 19-3, but 10-2 in shots on goal. Second top 25 loss for Yale in nearly 2 weeks. They had taken on Vanderbilt and fell by a score of 2-1. Valiant effort put forth on the road, but simply a ranked loss that they had put together. Exact formation for Stony Brook, a 4-1-2-3. Hennings with Hanwacker and Roach, Lent, and Steinagel. Keen's the defensive midfielder. The 2 attacks, Beck and Manor. Rich Garcia and Maricina. Hedvig Helling has made 5 total starts in her 7 total appearances this year. Holmes gets it back and sends it through the back. So we'll take a peek at Stony Brook's keys to the game. So something that Toby Bischoff had told us, again, accountability. We have to raise our level, and we also have to play smart too. So the accountability factor, he said, really went toward the ending of the match. Again, you had the two goals that came in the 60th and 70th minute for New Hampshire, but again, 59 and 61. Stony Brook had outshot New Hampshire 30-10 in that match, but simply, and they controlled possession throughout much of that second half, but simply could not get anything to go. And of course, playing smart is so crucial, and some of the inexperience, well, they're slowly learning, and that's something that obviously Bischoff wants a little bit quicker. Might not happen right when he wants it, but it will definitely come. So, and a bit of frustration there, but the team does have to move on, and we'll see if they do that here tonight. 4-2-1 win, loss, and draw record, while Yale 2-3 with no draws on the season as of yet. Stony Brook has put up 17 goals, and they average nearly 2.5 goals per match. It's one heck of a number as well, and they rank atop the CAA. They're also 34th in the nation in scoring offense this season. Also, total goals with 17 is good for 27th in the nation. Just 20 behind Louisville. Sent laterally for the Bulldogs. Here's Belle Golden. Now taken aside by Keens, and Garcia able to get it back. Here she comes. The grad out of Great Neck got toppled over by Anita Thorvaldsdottir. Garoa Bear Iceland product. 4 total shots and 167 minutes played for the Iceland native. Here comes the team center back, Eloise Stone, out of San Francisco, California, donning a brace on that right wrist, making her 6th collegiate start. Has already recorded 1 goal, and that came against Hofstra in that 4-0 clean sheet to open up their home schedule. Bulldogs again with possession through the center circle. And now it's Stone with our player spotlight, Lundstedt. She also has a sister, Reagan, on this squad. Meanwhile, Thorvaldsdottir laying it back toward Golden. And now Andy Miller with a lot of space. Chips it ahead for Thorvaldsdottir. And it'll be a throw-in. Again, we told you 8th meeting since October 17th, 2001. The last time that these two teams met was up at Reese Stadium in Connecticut, which was a season ago, where the Bulldogs had gotten the better of the Seawolves by a score of 1-0. And that was a match that was won off of a set piece, and one of the keys to victory for the Bulldogs, not only staying composed, but also winning the set piece battle. And obviously the last one being win, but winning the set piece battle is so crucial simply because Bischoff's Seawolves for many years, as long as he's been the head coach and even prior, have been one of the top teams in the region when it comes to set pieces. We've seen it from Handwacker. We saw it last year for the Seawolves a lot. We saw it 2 years ago as well, and continue to see it again. Handwacker leading the charge in that category. But the third one, of course, is to win. And said that, again, to get the bad taste out of their mouth from the last match against Kansas. But we'll see what Stony Brook has in store, as Garcia along the wing tries to move it through the 18, but pass intercepted for Golden. Here's Steinegal. And now back for Stone. Andy Miller, a junior out of Seattle, Washington. Again, keep in mind some of these players from the Pacific Northwest. We told you about Sarah Martinez, where she hails from, went to the University of Washington. Meanwhile, it's Addison Bray with a shot right on target, saved by Yona Hennings. Take another look at it here with, again, Bray kind of getting some space in between Steinegal. Steinegal making her 7th start of her collegiate career. Again, the redshirt freshman had blown out her ACL in the spring a season ago, but had her number called against UMass Lowell when Manueli Ferreira had a lower body injury. But she's back on a time count. But she has done a phenomenal job as the team's right outside back. Here's Logan Jacobs. Jacobs spins around, looks inside for Bray, chips it ahead. Taken away by Manor. Here's Maricina. A lot of room up front for Keens. Tried to feed it toward Riley Rich, who has 27 goals in her Stony Brook career, 4 away from becoming 5th all-time in program history in goals scored. Meanwhile, her teammate Lynn Beck sits just 2 behind the aforementioned Rich with 25 goals, 6 away from 5th place in the all-time Seawolves record book. Bulldogs with possession in their own end once more. Here's Thorvaldsdottir. Thorvaldsdottir gets around one along the end line, and a corner kick upcoming as that ball is deflected off of Lent. First real opportunity for the Bulldogs off of a set piece. Martinez told us, quote, "We feel that we're pretty good on set pieces, but they're also a team very good at it, and evidently last meeting was decided on that," end quote. It's Alex Chang, the junior out of Frisco, Texas. Takes it, hits it with the right foot, and cleared aside for the Bulldogs, but they get it back. Here's Chang along the end line. And Stony Brook able to clear it out. Battle in the midfield now. Here comes Garcia, and a great defensive effort after being down by Logan Jacobs, the senior out of Avon, Connecticut. Again, when Jacobs had hit the deck, you thought that Garcia would have a lot of space to work with, but not the case. Foul on Beck. And Yale will get it back. I'll give away for the Bulldogs, and we'll see if Stony Brook can get something going here the way that they did in the first, give or take 35 seconds. Not this time as Thorvald's daughter. Looks for a wide open Dennegree and goes just to the right of the American football uprights. That's a tough one that time for the freshman striker in JoJo Dennegree. 1 goal, 1 assist to open up her collegiate career. It was a game-winning goal against Vermont. That was the lone tally put up on August 22nd. Toby Bischoff, 58, 38, and 17, looking for win number 59 of his 7 total years at the helm of the Seawolves. Again, a Stony Brook record, 14 victories, not only a season ago, but also in 2019, when the team had won an American East championship. And again, on that graphic, you also saw 29 CAA wins. We'll look for number 30 in the next match, as this one is also the non-conference finale for the Seawolves squad. And Maricina, well, she tried to get it back in her neck of the woods, not the case, had gone off of her shin. For Kyla Holmes, though, a season ago, it was Anna Shamgashin, the sophomore out of East Providence, and we spoke with Martinez about that duo from a season ago, and she had said that it wasn't so much of Shamgashin really winning the job. It was really more on the lines of a lot of injuries that Kyla Holmes had sustained. Meanwhile, it's Thorvald's daughter on the other end, and a goal kick coming for Hennings. So that duo a season ago played in a combined 18 matches. Holmes with 10, Shamgashin with 8. And Martinez had said that Anna is a very good goalkeeper, but again, Kyla Holmes is still the team's number 1, but they feel very confident if Holmes does go down, Anna Shamgashin will be able to lead this team to where she expects them to be. Again, last season, 10 total starts, 8 goals allowed, and 0.88 goals against average, and 8.05 save percentage as well. 6-2-1 win, loss, and draw with 4 clean sheets. So definitely a stellar goalkeeper that Martinez has on her squad. Tried to keep it alive was Steinagel. And a corner kick upcoming for the Bulldogs. Now the second corner for Yale. th minute of play. Bulldogs up top. Can't find anything right at the edge of the 6. And Beck is able to clear it. Right in the area was Andy Miller. And now it's Logan Jacobs in the center circle. Alex Chang up ahead for Reagan Exley. On a centering feed to Addison Bray, cut off by the Seawolves, and now Garcia fights with her number counterpart Chang along the far touch line, and Yale again will have control. Yale able to break free of one, sent in front, right at the edge of the 6. Able to get it back is Denegri at the edge of the 18. Chang sends it in. Steinagel read it perfectly. Here comes Maracina with a lot of space. Yale tries to get set up along the back line. Maracina spots it. Tough play for Rich. Rich trying to break the ankles of Eloise Stone. And looks like it was deflected. And a throw in for the Bulldogs once more. Well, good effort for the Seawolves that time, but Riley Rich really testing what the freshman center back can do. And testing that durability amongst adversity. Pretty good job. Meanwhile, it's Miller. Along the wing, sent in. And Steinagel will let that go. Emanuele Ferreira, otherwise known as Mano around these parts, the junior defender out of Lowell, Mass. She'll be coming in to replace Taylor Steinagel. On a minutes count, making her third appearance, only played in 31 total minutes against the Wildcats this past Sunday, but a crucial return for head coach Toby Bischoff. He had told us when the season had began that the depth of this team is very different from a season ago. And he said he's very intrigued to see how everyone gels together. There was a lot of turnover. That was kind of the theme of this season, is the follow-up. After winning your first CAA championship, how do you do it? With a lot of different players. Off the left boot, the turnaround from Bray goes just wide. And that's the big question right now. Who else can step up aside from Lynn Beck and Riley Rich? Well, we have seen some. We've seen Leah Reifus as well. We've seen Steinagel, as well as Christina Garcia. But, again, 17 goals. It's still a solid amount, as we told you early on. Already ranked first in the conference, 27th nationally. But again, really for up top, that's a combined 13 goals. And then the other 4 kind of just sprinkled around. In that opening match against UMass Lowell in that 4-2 loss here on its home turf, the first time since 2023, mind you. Ferreira had an assist in that one through the legs of Roach. Had gone Logan Jacobs. Now getting it back is Thorvald's daughter. And Ferreira. Great job on the defensive side. And forces a corner for the Bulldogs. Grand total of 7 freshmen and first years on this Bulldog squad. Chipped in and sent out. We're going to have another corner. Team's fourth. Stony Brook has yet to record a corner kick in this match so far. Alex Chang on the opposite end, just standing right in front of the AR2 Greg Muse. Here's Chang on the ground, gave it right back to Thorvald's daughter. Chips it in, header, and sent out by Maracina. Here's Handwacker with the left boot out. Chang moves laterally toward Bell Golden. Now along the flank, great work by Stony Brook on the defensive side. Here's Exley. Now Jacobs once again. Chang to Bray. Chang rather inside the arc for Vienna Lundstedt. And who else but Manuel Ferreira. Drawing the foul against Lundstedt. Our player spotlight today, and we'll have another look at it up close. This time, great defensive effort, and right at the end there, Lundstedt kind of grabbed her and pulled her down. Sarah Martinez on Lundstedt had told us he's got a lot of experience for us, obviously being named co-offensive player of the week in the Ivy League, has scored in big moments. Meanwhile, it's Ferreira, sent in along the 6. Rich is there, she scores! Goal number 28 of her Seawolves career for the graduate Riley Rich, her 6th of the season, and Stony Brook in front 1-0. Makes it look so easy. And Manu with her 2nd point of the season. And right there you saw Alex Chang had nearly lost a step on Rich. And when that happened, you could see the reaction from the goalkeeper, Kyla Holmes. There really was not much her teammate could do in that moment in time. We'll have another look at it on the field level. And right there again, did not get a whole lot on it, but nonetheless, her 6th of the season, and now goal number 28 of her career. Just 3 away from becoming 5th all-time in program history. As this one sent up ahead for Maracina. Now she's looking for her 4th goal. Maracina had started in her first 10 matches back in 2022 as a freshman. Bischoff had told us that he wanted to see Maracina get back really to that level of play. 5 goals and 1 assist in that season. 12 shots, a couple of game winners. Now she already has 3, but again, the intensity has stepped up a bit. Why? Because she is now in the everyday starting lineup. She also gets credit for the 2nd assist, so that's going to be her 2nd helper of the 25 season. Here's Rich again. Goes through 2 and cannot go through the 3rd. Looks like Ferreira lost a shin guard. Chipping it along the wing for Handwacker. She'll head it in. And now Exley. Ahead for Thorvald's daughter. Puts on the brakes. Tries to get around 1. Beck is able to intercept. Here's Manor. Manor chips it ahead for Handwacker, but Miller is there for the grab. It's Jacobs. Back to Miller. And now Golden. Again, possession time favoring the Yale Bulldogs. They've done a good job with that. They lead in shots 2-1, or rather 3-2. 2-1 Stony Brook leads on goal. And of course the one finding the back of the net beyond the reach of Holmes. '27th minute of play here inside Laval. Line change coming for the Bulldogs. New trio set to come on for Yale as Ferreira able to strip Vienna Lundstedt. And Handwacker tries to give it right back and does. Sent down the length of the pitch. A lot of pressure that this Yale Bulldog team is doing to Stony Brook, but they are holding firm on the defensive side. Again, one of the keys to victory for the Bulldogs, not only to win, but also that stay composed, because they're going to press us hard. But you're seeing here that Yale doing a really good job doing the exact same thing, and Stony Brook, they are staying composed. So again, we'll see the response from Yale if there is one right now. But 24th minute strike for Riley Rich. Second ball, won by Garcia, sent up ahead for Maricina, and she got taken down that time. Handwacker lets one go, and that one goes in! What a shot for Sammy Handwacker! A SportsCenter-esque type goal for this senior left outside back. 2-0 Seawolves in front. And look at this, the way that our camera crew got it right in the upper 90. My goodness. And Holmes had mistimed it, had misplayed it. That's a tough one for the Bulldogs, but precision accuracy for the Smithtown native, her first of the season. And last year had 6 assists. Last time that she had put up a goal was back in 2023 against William and Mary. Up ahead, looking for a third, and Maricina and Holmes collide. And now this offense for Stony Brook has not only awoken, but Yale having a really difficult time on tempering these forwards. Again, what a goal in the upper 90 for Sammy Handwacker. Just her 4th career goal. Again, this is a left back for Bischoff, who had told us just a couple of seasons ago had a hard time making the travel roster. And she has been beyond exceptional for this team. They had a hole at left outside back in 2024, and was one of the reasons why this team is defending champs. Here's Garcia, headed down but cleared out by Golden. And a corner kick upcoming for the Seawolves. Bischoff had to fill a void. Couldn't figure out who to go to, and Handwacker had really elevated her game in the spring of 24. Couple of injuries to Steinagel, to Corbett. And again, who do you put on the outside? They had Sovakova try it a season ago, didn't work out. Handwacker had absolutely excelled, and now we'll see what can happen here as Rich tried to head it to the left of Holmes. Tried to find the back of the net for another insurance tally, and we saw in the last match against New Hampshire that 2 evidently is not enough. And what do they say in sports is that 3 goals or 3 runs, whatever the case may be, is always the most dangerous lead in sports. So we'll see if Stony Brook could potentially put on 1 or 2 more here to give themselves a little bit more breathing room. But as Bischoff has said in the past, doesn't matter. We simply do not take our foot off the gas. And he said that for as long as we've worked with him for the last few seasons. Seawolves chip it ahead for Golden. Second ball won back by Handwacker. And back alongside Andy Miller. The latter will win it, and a goal kick coming up. Leah Sparacio, Farmingdale native. I'll tell you more about her in a few short moments. Making her 3rd straight appearance. And that's a good sign for Stony Brook. A lot of talent when healthy, alongside Hedvig Helling. And Helling has been beyond splendid. Here's Reagan Lundstedt, older sister of Vienna, making her 6th appearance. And now it's Bray. Headed by Lent. And Eggsley all along the far touch line. Keen's trying to say it went the other way, not the case. Well, now at this point, it doesn't really matter about possession numbers. You look at the scoreboard right now, 2-0 in favor of Stony Brook. But again, at some point, you saw in the last match, and you'll want to keep going back to a contest or a fixture that Bischoff had said we have to move forward from it. Well, I guess we're all a team here, so we really all have to move forward from it. But you have to look at some of really what had gone down in that match. Is that possession at some point did come back to haunt them. And New Hampshire, they really handled possession down the stretch. So Beck and Garcia come off for the likes of Sparacio. And Hedvig Helling. Bulldogs trying to find some space. And Ferreira doing a nice job guarding that ball to ensure Hennings can clear this one. Well, it's really good to see Leah Sparacio back on the pitch. Only played in 8 total fixtures against West Virginia, or rather for West Virginia in the Big 12. just a season ago, 124 total minutes, had to redshirt in 2023 due to injury. And something that she had told us, 3 ACL tears, a hip issue, a broken foot, 2 torn quads, and 3 surgeries. Now, if that is the epitome of never giving up, I honestly don't know what it is. That's truly remarkable to see after all of those issues and all of those woes and the physical toll that she had to endure. The Farmingdale native comes home and gets to play for the defending CAA champions. It must be a dream come true. Right in her own backyard, nonetheless. Took a Stony Brook bounce. Favor of Handwhacker. Turned over by the Bulldogs and able to get it back. A couple of turnovers, one for each side. Here's Jacobs. Spins around. And the shot goes just wide. Rassiopi set to come on for the Seawolves. Depth as the team's right outside back, with Steinagel, Ferreira, Rassiopi. We've seen her also on the left side. She's set to come in for the 8th time. Second ball. Right around 30 yards out, taken back by Ferreira. Headed out and a throw in for the Seawolves. And instead, it'll be Handwhacker coming out, so a change or kind of throwing us for a loop is Bischoff. Don't want to tell us all the secrets. And that's all right, we'll find them out eventually. Manu heads to the left, while Rassiopi's on the right. Sparacio has to get back and find Eggsley. Second ball again. Meanwhile, it's Phoebe Ryan, sophomore out of Charlottesville, Virginia. Now a goal kick for Hennings. .39th minute of play. Preseason poll for the Bulldogs in the Ivy League, ranked 5th out of the 8 teams. Princeton an overwhelming favorite with 9 first-place votes. Brown with 6. The other side for Stony Brook in the North Division, of course, overwhelmingly the favorites to win the North Division. Here's Helling. Through the legs of Golden. Here she comes. Nearly turned over again, right off the shin of Eggsley. Meanwhile, the Bulldogs able to get it back. It's Maya Corbett. Rich, the left foot. Trying to feed it again for Maracina. Ashley Bell said to come on for the first time since closing out the month of August against Colgate. Here's an opportunity for the Seawolves. Emanuele Ferreira, better known as Manu, makes it a 3-0 Seawolves lead. First goal of this season, and just her second collegiate strike. Well, what do you do when you need a goal? We told you early on where Stony Brook needed to find some different goal scorers. Well, they found a whole bunch here today. Between Riley Rich, between Sammy Hanwacker and Manuel Ferreira. And that's just in the first half. And Hedvig Helling, a perfect feed, her 5th assist of the season in just her 8th match played here in her sophomore campaign. This is a really good showing for Stony Brook. And again, we told you how a 3-0 lead in any sport is always very dangerous, but we'll see how they respond here heading into the second 45. 41st minute upcoming. It's Avery Johnson playing in her 2nd collegiate match. Played in 35 minutes against Kansas. Talk about one heck of a collegiate debut going up against the number 22nd ranked team in the nation. And at the time, 22nd. United Soccer Coach's top 25 coaches poll this past week moved Kansas up 1 spot. So they are currently number 21 overall. And Rich, she got blocked that time by Eloise Stone. Team's left center back. Keen's back to Ferreira. So clock stops and yellow card will be coming out. And it'll go against Reagan Lundstedt. Take another look at it. And again, upstairs, just above the shoulder. She looks to be all right, though, which is a good thing. But for Lundstedt, Reagan, that is, her first yellow. Her sister, Vienna, has 1 yellow card this season, recorded in the September 4th match against UConn. Final 3:35 of this first half. Joey Jarzinko with you, our entire crew, here on the Wax. Stony Brook ahead of the Yale Bulldogs, 3-0. With Rich, Hanwacker, and Ferreira logging the team's first 3 of the night. Spinning around was Addison Bray, had a shot denied right in the arc. Helling had spun the body that time to avoid any potential deflection there. And it worked well since Rassiopi will be on the throw-in. Off the chest for Rich. And not enough for Bell. Sparacio. Back by Corbett. And they got tangled up with the Bulldog there as Helling along the wing looks to center it in front for Rich, and Holmes was ready that time. And you could see that separation that Rich can do in a span of give or take milliseconds. We'll take another look at it here, slow it down right about now. And again, just really finding that That space against Andy Miller and that separation. And now look at this, Helling right through the legs of Golden. Well, if you're Toby Bischoff, you can't really ask for more. I think the only thing that he would want would be the possession total to be higher in the first 45. And now we're beginning to see that seesaw of momentum possession-wise shift in favor of Stony Brook. I'll take another look at this here, and again, not really turning the head to see if there was anyone in the area. So rightfully so, a foul. And now Sparacio will take the set piece. On the ground, right through the legs of a few defenders, and Bray attempts to clear it. Here's Rasiopi. Stony Brook wants one more before this first half comes to a close. Just over the head of Rich, and Ferreira keeps it in. And Rich, off of the tip of her toe, Holmes with another stop. And the final, give or take 6 seconds, is an injured Bulldog. Looks like that Chris Muse will let go all the way down. And that injured Bulldog is Logan Jacobs in the 6-yard box. So that's how this first half comes to a close. Stony Brook up 3 compared to Yale's none here at the end of the first 45. So they let the clock wind down, and we hope that Logan Jacobs is okay. We'll tell you more about it on the other side of this break. Halftime report coming up in give or take 5 to 6 minutes, and 15 minutes before the second 45 resumes. Here from the North Fork of Long Island. Back in a few short moments here on The Wax.
Wolfie gets the ball. He drives to the basket and scores. Oh no, Wolfie's injured. I hope it's not serious. Stony Brook Medicine Advanced Imaging, only 2 miles from campus, has state-of-the-art technology and is led by subspecialist radiologists, experienced technologists, and a friendly staff. Advanced Imaging offers many tests including CT, MRI, ultrasound, 3D mammography, and PET-CT. Call 631-638-2600 for an appointment.
Mr. Murphy was a big runner, and running was a big part of his life. And I'm also a runner. I know that running becomes part of who you are, and when you can't do that any longer, it's taken away from you. You lose a sense of who you are. I was determined to get him back running, and I promised him that once we were done with his treatment, we would run a race together. So we're here to celebrate his accomplishments and perseverance and his strength, and I'm so thankful to be able to run by his side.
Aha! I knew it! You are stealing my Jersey Mike's gig.
Danny, it's just because Jersey Mike's is an official sponsor of the NFL. I'm not taking your gig.
Now you're taking my look.
This is how I dress.
My glasses. I've been looking for those.
I wear glasses. I have astigmatism.
I'll give you astigmatism.
Ready for you on set, Eli.
I gotta go.
Oh. This ain't over, Manning.
Jersey Mike's, a sub of...
Hey, that's my line. A sub above.
This is the CAA on Flow College.
In the classroom, in the field, on the water, Stony Brook University is a place for daring. Daring to see where you can go when you follow your heart. Daring to define your own path is not always easy, but it is always worth it. At Stony Brook, New York's flagship university, daring to be something more in this world starts with daring to be true to yourself. Stony Brook University. Dare to be.
The CAA is committed to educating its student athletes and fans on mental health awareness.
Studies have shown that nearly 1/3 of student athletes struggle with their mental health.
Less than half feel comfortable seeking help.
If you are experiencing a mental health condition, please know that you are not alone.
Some things we do for our mental health are go outside,
Read and run. Go to the beach. Hanging out with my teammates.
For more information on mental health resources, please visit ncaa.org.
Well, at halftime here inside Laval Stadium, when we spoke with Toby Bischoff, he told us a few days ago that after the New Hampshire battle, they felt quote-unquote defeated and they needed to come out hot. Well, I think by looking at the scoreboard here with the Seawolves leading the Bulldogs 3-0, safe to say his team did exactly that. Let's take a peek at some of our highlights here, and to start things off, it was Addison Bray who got the first opportunity against Yona Hennings before Stony Brook completely switched the tide. And it was Riley Rich scoring her 28th goal in her Stony Brook career, just 3 now away from becoming 5th all-time in program history in goals scored. And then this one in the upper 90, no one saw it coming. Sammy Hanwacker, what a job. Her first strike of the season, and then you get a chance to see Hedvig Helling feed it to Manu Emanuele Ferreira, and that is where we are here through a grand total of 45 minutes. We'll have another look at it here on the left side. So, again, Ferreira, again coming back from injury just a couple of matches ago, able to get on the board here and give Stony Brook a little bit more breathing room, but again, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So some of the halftime stats, they look good. 9-5, 7-1 shots on target, obviously in favor of Stony Brook. The 4 saves, though, have to give Kyla Holmes a lot of credit because there was a lot of pressure that Stony Brook had given them. The press was so crucial, and Yale not able to break that. So Holmes has really stood on her head despite the Stony Brook 3-goal advantage. Fouls are 7-2, combined 9 in favor of the Seawolves. 4-1 in corners. That was something that Sarah Martinez had told us that they have to win that set-piece battle, and that's how the match a season ago was won. So we'll see how things go heading into the second 45. One last one before we let you go for the remainder of halftime, taking a peek at the possession total for Stony Brook first, and 34% of their possession came in their offensive midfield. On the opposite side for Yale, 39% of their possession came in their offensive midfield. So that's something that we had told you just prior to halftime commencing, is that if there was definitely one piece that Toby Bischoff wanted to improve on, it was possession. But other than that, a pretty good start for the Seawolves here in their non-conference finale against the Bulldogs. 3-0, Stony Brook in front. We'll be back on the opposite side, and as we get set to go for the second 45 here on the Wax from the North Fork of Long Island. back here on the wax from the North Fork of Long Island. From Laval Stadium, Joey Jarzinka back with you. Stony Brook and Yale in the final non-conference tilt for the defending CAA champion Seawolves. Here on its home pitch. Of course, the next time out for Stony Brook will come your way in exactly 1 week when the Campbell Fighting Camels come in to Laval to take on the Seawolves. That is a 6 p.m. start next Thursday night. Again, we'll be with you the entire season. And for their sake, hoping into the postseason and hoping to host once again. Looking to make it back-to-back seasons hosting the CAA tournament. See if that comes about down the stretch. Again, a much tougher schedule for this Seawolves squad, but right now, they're in front 3-0, looking to put a 5 next to, or rather to replace that 4 right in the lower portion of your screen to make it 5 wins. Yale looking to even it up and make it 3-3-0. They've got a lot of work to do, though. Yale donning their road navy blue kits, while Stony Brook dons their home white kits with red shorts and white socks. And the Bulldogs now going from left to right. Stony Brook goes from right to left. Bray tries to feed it inside off of a diving stop from Hennings, and along the end line was Thorvald's daughter. Did not call her name a whole lot down the stretch. And we'll take another look at it here. You can see Addison Bray right through the legs, and a really good job there on our replay system going through like that. Look at that. Replay crew doing a really good job there, and you kind of got a little DJ feel there going back and forth. Early set piece for the Bulldogs. Stripped away by Keynes, and a throw in for Yale again. Again, what we saw in the first 45 to open up this match was Stony Brook right on target to open up this game, and then it turned out to be Yale really garnering a lot more possession down the stretch before Stony Brook. They found the back of the net 3 times. Again, 24th minute strike from Riley Rich, and then just a 28th minute upper 90 by Sammy Handwacker and Manu Emanuele Ferreira in the 40th minute. Again, just in a span of, give or take, 18 minutes. Bray tries to spin around 1, and a diving Hennings is able to make the stop. Again, Hennings in the first 45, 1 save, no goals allowed, and had faced 5 shots. Early 2-0 shot advantage for the Bulldogs, and now on the ground was Keynes. And not too thrilled with that call is Alex Chang. Center referee Chris Muse not too thrilled with it, but says, nope, you pulled her jersey, and that is not allowed. Here's Roach. Cleared out by Yale. Roach, the team's left center back, in the absence of Eva Sproul. And a lower body injury suffered in the last match against New Hampshire. She'll be out for the next few matches, but Toby Bischoff is confident she'll be back down the stretch in conference play, and she will be a much-needed acquisition coming back. Anita Thorvaldsdottir, again a player that Sarah Martinez had told us earlier this week That's a player that she expects to break out fairly soon, whether it's in this match or down the stretch. A couple of shots recorded against Kansas and UConn. And along the end line was Vienna Lundstedt. And tonight for Thorvaldsdottir, coming into this second half, just 28 minutes. Now you add on a few extra since she did start the second half, but a lot, really zeros along her stat line. But again, numbers do not tell the entire story. We saw Thorvaldsdottir with a few chances for the Bulldogs early on, and again to create some separation between the opposition as well as trying to create some offense. Meanwhile, it's Lundstedt again towards Stone along the far touchline. Dribbles around one. In Steinagol looking to dribble around Lent. And Steinagol had taken down Thorvaldsdottir. Take a look at it. Now again, she fell in the 18, but the foul occurred outside of the 18. And that could have been costly. Set piece for Alex Chang and the Bulldogs. And hard hit right through a trio of defenders. Hennings is not phased. Here's Lundstedt. Reigning Ivy League co-offensive player of the week. As Handwacker shields the speedy Egsley. Headed down by the Seawolves. Handwacker back to Hennings, and on the run was Egsley. Down for Chang. Chipped ahead for Beck. Lundstedt off of Keynes. And a foul on Lundstedt. It's not the first time that we have seen Vienna, the younger sister of Reagan, have a couple of extra words for Chris Muse. Has not resulted in a yellow card, though. Her sister Reagan had received a yellow card early on. And now the coaching staff has to move all of their stuff, have to move the bench, and Bischoff stays put. Garcia along the edge of the 18. There's Rich. And cleared out by the Bulldogs. Here comes Stony Brook again. Rich, nifty footwork, puts on the brakes. Right foot, goes in! Her second goal of the match. Seventh goal of the season for Riley Rich, and goal number 29 of her Stony Brook career gives the Seawolves a 4-0 advantage. And again, nifty footwork. Look at this. Puts on the brakes, sets up, winds and fires, and finds the upper corner again. And that is evidently a weak spot for Kyla Holmes. And just a lot of space to get teed up, and that takes a lot of practice. And Abigail Roach with an assist, her second of the season. And Abby Roach, we asked Toby Bischoff about what she brings in. Brings a sense of calmness along that back line. And you could see that, again, Bischoff, he's got something special with these depth pieces. She'll have to get comfortable as the team's left center back for a little bit. And we wish Eva Spruill well in her recovery. Here's Garcia. Had to dribble away from Thorvaldsdottir. Well, if this is a way to go out for Riley Rich, and we refer to her Player Tribune type article, The Last Ride. She wanted to go out on her own terms. Sometimes you would think you go out on top with a championship ring, but that's not what Riley Rich wanted. Wanted one more go-around with her teammates and ensuring that her legacy continues to be stamped down as number 12 has put up number 7 of the season. Goal number 29 of her illustrious Stony Brook career. And what a season she's having. And again, we're only 8 matches in. She is averaging a tiny bit under a goal a game. It's a remarkable feat. And you can't replace someone of Rich's stature. It's nearly impossible. We saw it in 2023 when she tore her ACL against William & Mary in that 4-0 clean sheet win. The team was never the same. The final puzzle piece was Rich. And of course, Lynn Beck plays a humongous role in this too. And if there is a dynamic duo in this region, in the CAA, it's Rich and Beck. And a lot of the role players for Stony Brook, they're knocking on the door, and they want a piece of that action. With that being said, though, again, the non-conference finale for Stony Brook, and one heck of a way to potentially close out the non-con. Meanwhile, on the other side, it's Tana Sands making her 3rd collegiate appearance. Freshman back out of Rancho Cucamonga in the Golden State. Something Bischoff had told us in the preseason was that the depth had a little bit of a look from 2023, where the depth was unproven. And the wins might not come as easy as they did last year. There will be a lot more work. The opposition knows a lot about who they are. And now there's a lot of film. There is one upside. There's a lot of new faces and a lot of talent on this roster. Meanwhile, back here present day, Keens gets taken down just outside the 18-yard box. And then the retaliatory A little shove that time by Hannah Maracina. Gives Andy Miller a set piece. Just wide of the 18. Chips it in. Pinballs upstairs and a foul in the 6. Again, Sarah Martinez, someone who has been on the other side of that substitution table. None of the players that were here when she was a member of the Seawolves staff are still here. She considered associate head coach Shannon Grogan one of her best friends. One of the toughest places to ever leave. Started off her college coaching career on the opposite side of the nation. Never took an on-campus visit and said, you know what? Let's head to Long Island. A kid from Seattle. A kid who played at the University of Washington for the Huskies. And ever since then, she never turned around and was one of the hardest times to ever leave. Phoebe Ryan wants a card. Chris Muse says, no, I will not give her one. Take another look at it here on the feed up front. Looked like ball maybe got tangled up there, and I think a frustration request by Ryan. And she got the foul, though, and a set piece coming. And Henning sees it the entire way. Second ball with Thorvald's daughter. Just too far for Eggsley. And Addison Bray, we told you a lot about her early on. Leads the squad tonight with 5 shots. Leads the team with 11 shots on the season coming into tonight's non-conference fixture. Rich, Beck, headed back by Sands, and here comes Rich again to Maracina. Tries to give it right back to Rich, and oh so close, trying to find a lane. Meanwhile, on the bicycle is Emanuele Ferreira. Trying to keep active, again on a minutes restriction for the foreseeable future. Meanwhile, it's Eggsley again. Handwacker has to get back, as does Eggsley. And look at this pressure that Stony Brook is putting on. There is zero breathing room here for Jacobs. Golden, now to Thorvald's daughter. Perfect sunset here on Long Island tonight. And you can see that in the horizon here at Laval. Yale looking to get on the board. They trail 4-0 to Stony Brook. Meanwhile, Beck is really doing a solid job denying the Bulldogs of anything, and now Maracina is the retriever until her pocket got picked by Andy Miller. The junior out of Seattle feeds it to Thorvald's daughter. A lot of space, looks for that separation with Lent and tries to extend it out. Thorvald's daughter is really furious in the box, and again, very difficult right now for this Bulldog team to really produce anything right now. And despite the shot total equaling 10 apiece, the shot total for Yale, 5-1 here in the second half, favors the Bulldogs. 5 total saves for Hennings. And yet it's a 4-0 advantage with 1 total shot on target here in this second half. It's been all Seawolves. And now Vienna Lundstedt with the foul. Keen's not too thrilled that there was no ensuing card. But you can't win them all, as Ferreira set to come on. And again, we had asked Bischoff how many minutes Ferreira would get. And he joked with us. He said, you could figure it out. I think all the folks at home know that math is not our strong suit, but good thing for calculators. And I look down at Ferreira's numbers, 26 minutes, and evidently it will increase from the last time that she was on the pitch, right around 35 minutes. Here's Maracina. Great work again on the defensive side for Handwacker to pose the threat for the Bulldogs, and nothing doing. And another foul by Yale. And now here's Roach on the free kick. Deflected back by Bray. Back on the one touch, headed down by Sands. Back right through the legs of Exley. Garcia and Golden in a foot race. Won by the former, but a little bit of a stiff arm that time by Golden. Good tackle. Meanwhile, Ferreira comes on for Steinegal. And again, we told you how Stony Brook has depth now at the right outside back spot. Again, that left center back spot is still, again, up for grabs. And by up for grabs, meaning who behind Abby Roach. So we know that her spot is sealed. Once Eva Sproul comes back, you would have to think, again, it'll be Sproul and Roach. But it's Roach and whom now is the biggest question. And we'll see if down the stretch Bischoff potentially tinkers with that left center back spot to see what he has come Campbell. And you look at next week's opponent. They've lost 3 straight in the South Division. They're 2-3-2 after starting off 2-0-2. 4 straight results before posting 3 straight losses. Here's Vienna Lundstedt. Edge of the box, taken down, and she'll have a penalty. Jamie Keynes is trying to plead her case and say that Vienna Lundstedt was tackled out of the box. Chris Muse disagrees. We'll have another look at it here. again, a very 50-50 coin flip type call. But Vienna Lundstedt, again, lots of experience, has scored in big moments, and is certainly one of the more special attacking players you'll ever see, quoted by the head coach, Sarah Martinez. She has an opportunity to make it a 3-goal match and her 3rd of the season. She's also 0 for 2 on penalty kicks this year. Jona Hennings and Vienna Lundstedt. And she scores. Lundstedt's 3rd goal of the season. And it's a 4-1 Stony Brook lead. And you can see again, Vienna Lundstedt goes just to Hennings' right. Perfect job by the Johns Creek, Georgia native. So Yale on the board. There goes the clean sheet for Hennings. Meanwhile, Holmes. Play it from the right side and out of the back. And the pass intended for Thorvaldsdottir, just too far, and again, a miscommunication. It's time to throw in for the Bulldogs. Meanwhile, it's Miller. Yale has had a tough time the last few seasons. They lost 3 to end the season, 8-7-1, one game over 500, 5-6-5, 0-5-2 in 2023. And had a tough go in conference play, and that was when they started the Ivy League tournament as well. Fall of 2021 after COVID, 3-14, 1-6. Again, they did not play in 2020, or spring of 2021 rather. Second ball down. And again, it's Ryan. Keen's on the defensive side. Valiant effort, but won by the Bulldogs. Here's Bray. Eloise Stone through the center circle. This ball's chipped ahead and played by Eggsley. Puts on the brakes, gets away from Hanwacker along the edge of the 18, looks for a centering pass to Bray. Second ball in the arc. And hold on one second. Will we have a set piece just outside the 18? Think we will. And let's see where Muse will place this soccer ball. We'll look at it again. Yeah, just outside, and again, very close. Now you're seeing Bischoff get a little bit more animated here. Taken by Lundstedt. Goes in! Vienna Lundstedt finds the top corner fourth goal of the season and has recorded the only 2 Bulldogs goals in this match, and they have cut Stony Brook's lead in half. It's 4-2. And now this match has gotten a little bit more interesting here with 18 minutes to go. Look at it again. And that ball had eyes. My goodness. We'll take another look at it here from the upstairs camera. And we told you early on what Sarah Martinez said. Has scored in big moments, one of the more special attacking players you'll see. And, quote, the way she can pick apart a game and the way that she could take over a match and how fluid she is on the ball. And she has the ability to take over a match. It's about finding more moments within the game because she is that special, end quote. Well, safe to say that Martinez, the head coach of the Bulldogs, had said the truth. And we're seeing it here on full display. Here come the Bulldogs again. It's Eggleston off of the post. Here's Bray right on target, and Hennings denies her. My goodness. What an opportunity for Eggleston through the legs of Hennings, and just a few millimeters shy of making it a 1-goal match. And then Addison Bray right on target. Hennings denies the junior forward from making it a 1-goal match. Meanwhile, Helling will come on. The clock stops. And now Hannah Maracina will come aboard. Or rather, Hannah Maracina will check out while Helling comes aboard. So 16:47 remaining as we enter the 73rd minute of play. Now, something just to let everyone know is that in give or take a minute and 35 seconds, after the 15-minute remaining mark, if Stony Brook makes a sub, and with their lead still intact by 2, the clock will stop if they were to make a sub. And that's because they have a lead. Here's Ryan. Shots are 14-10 in favor of the Bulldogs. Here's Thorvaldsdottir. Hand whacker. Thorvaldsdottir gets around one. Little push in the back. Thorvaldsdottir right on target. Hennings denies her. Well, here come the Bulldogs. And Thorvaldsdottir around the arc. A little push from the rear. But right on target, and again, a very competitive Thorvaldsdottir. Not too thrilled there, but again, here comes Rich. Rich with the burst of speed. She lets one go off of the post. It's a hat trick for Riley Rich. 8th goal of the season, goal number 30 as a member of the Seawolves. Much needed momentum shifter here in this match, and Rich lets it go, lets it fly, and right off of the far post and in. And that's what the doctor ordered, especially after Vienna Lundstedt had scored. Off of that set piece, and now a little bit more breathing room. Keyword is a little bit more. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, Toby Bischoff had told us. And now we're seeing it here. Sammy Handwacker records assist number 2 on the season. And Roach takes down Bray. Keep in mind, as we told you early on in the broadcast, Addison Bray, the team's leader in shot totals, not only in this match, but also throughout this season. Here's Handwacker. Intended for Helling, but taken away by Sands. And now it's Thorvald's daughter. Handwacker got taken down. Good tackle. They wanted another one. They won't get it. Here comes Helling along the wing. Helling, nifty footwork with the left foot. She shoots and looks like it was just deflected off of a Bulldog defender. Here's Maya Corbett. Push from behind. And that's a foul on Yale. And more specifically, have another look at Helling here, and that may have gone off of actually the boot of Kyla Holmes. That was Belle Golden with the foul. 7 combined goals, a goal extravaganza tonight, 20 shots on target, 27 overall shots in this fixture. Can Stony Brook put a 6th spot on the board? Up front looking for Helling, and she lets it go for a goal kick for Holmes. And now we can all breathe. Jojo Denegri. Now, the last time that Stony Brook had scored at least 6 goals came back on August 28th against the newest team, one of the newest teams in Division I, the New Haven Chargers. That was in a 6-0 clean sheet up in the great state of Connecticut. Here is Miller. She'll send it back to Eloise Stone. And Yale will send that one right through the American football upright, Logan Jacobs. The last time that Stony Brook had scored at least 5 goals on its home turf was a season ago, September 9th, against Lemoyne in that 5-0 clean sheet against the Lemoyne Dolphins. And then on October 10th against Hampton was a 6-0 clean sheet win inside the friendly confines of Laval Stadium. Again, last season they had won 8 total matches. They drew in 1, and they did not move the 0 out of the loss column on their home record. The UMass Lowell match to open up this 25 campaign was their first loss inside Laval since September 17th, 2023. Against the Hofstra Pride. And again, Hofstra comes to Laval to close out this regular season. October 26th at 1 p.m. That's going to be a lot of fun. And those Stony Brook Hofstra matches are always fun. As Thorvald's daughter, she attempted to get one off, but Ange Lent said, nope, not in my house. 10:41 remaining. 81st minute of play, if you count up. Here's Bray along the end line. Meanwhile, Helling to Rich. Battle for the ball is Andy Miller. And you're seeing the physicality for Yale get a little bit more. And evidently they're trailing by the 3 goals, so the physicality has to increase in order to get what they want, and we saw that with the penalty kick. Now 1 for 3 this season is Vienna Lundstedt from the line. It's a really good job by Sarah Martinez to not really shy away from Vienna at the penalty marker and keep that momentum and the confidence brewing as Bray from the top of the box is denied by Hennings, just to her right, and dives in the W. Take another look at it. Bray with some separation against Roach in that left boot. Right at the line entering the arc. Meanwhile, it's Keens. And a throw in for Stony Brook. One heck of a night for Riley Rich. 3 goals. 8 total goals this season. Having a career year. 30 goals. All time for Riley Rich as a member of the Seawolves. 1 away from tying 5th place for the all-time goal scorers lead. And that current occupant is Noreen Heigelstadt. 1985 to 1988 had scored 31 overall goals. At 33, sitting in 4th is Kim Canada, 1993 and 94. Had played as a member of this Seawolves program. And Erica Keller, 96 to 98, had scored 45 overall goals. Now, that's going to be a real tough feat for Riley Rich to get to, since this is her last year of eligibility. But definitely a feat that she is chasing down in the last ride. '83rd minute, Ferreira off the corner. Headed back down. Corbett nearly took a jab at it. Helling had a shot blocked, and now here comes Garcia. She looks to center it in front toward Rich, looking for number 4, but cannot do so. It's a deep throw-in. Three subs coming on for Bischoff. It's George, Ashley Bell, and Leah Sparacio. Also, keep in mind, too, and also, too, how can we forget, of course, the all-time leading goal scorer, Erica Keller-Meyer now, heading into the Hall of Fame this year on September 26th, just in a couple of weeks into the Stony Brook Hall of Fame, and rightfully so for her efforts nearly 30 years ago. In front, Andy Miller. And Bray got taken down right at the edge. That time was Roach. Great defensive effort by the left center back. Rich nearly ran right into a wall. Spinning around is Jacobs. And off of the crossbar that time and goes in. Hold on, let's see. Or do we have an offside call? Hold on. Michael Andresasio, the AR1, did he call for an offside? Nope. And they're going to call that a good goal. Let's see. Had gone off of the crossbar, and then the second chance had gone off of the glove of Yona Hennings. So we're going to get another look at it here. Gone off the crossbar, and then just a bit late was Handwacker. And that is Anita Thorvaldsdottir with her first goal of the season. Her first goal in nearly 2 years. We'll have another look at it a bit slower. And instead, no. Hold on a second. Are they going offside here? Okay, so Chris Muse had said it was a goal. He sent the signal out. And yes, and now after further discussion, and it looks as if that they did go to the VAR system. So they were. So Chris Muse was looking at the VAR tablet. And now here comes Thorvaldsdottir. Allison George got tangled up with Thorvaldsdottir. And a great retribution. That time, hold on. And now things are getting a bit chippier. Here's Helling. Now with Jacobs. Maya Corbett along the edge. Here's Corbett again. Gets around one. Off to the far side for Sparacio. She tries to center it. Gets through one. Sparacio goes off of Holmes. And a goal kick coming. Now Sparacio. See right there. And actually, no, it'll be a corner kick. It had gone off of Holmes. Had redirected, and it looked as if that from not only our vantage point, but I think from the players on the pitch, they thought it was just going to be a goal kick as well, and then they got set up, ready to go. We entered the 87th minute on a short corner. Here's Handwacker, gets through one. Stony Brook able to get out of one, and Holmes at the edge of her 6. What nifty footwork that time for the Seawolves. Able to get in and out of trouble. Here comes Thorvaldsdottir. Scored the team's 3rd goal. And that's something, we'll be honest with you folks, I've never seen that. You look at the VAR. Initially you get that opportunity to look at the VAR. They don't take it, they go through that, then they say, all right, we're going to look at the VAR, and we've got it. But it looked as if that after, which is, again, something you typically don't see, after looking at the video review system, then Muse still went over to chat with Michael Andrasio. Usually after the VAR, that's it. We told you about the Seawolves' next match against Campbell. The Fighting Camels come to town 6 p.m. next Thursday right here on Flo College. Now a card for Vienna Lundstedt. No, I don't think so. Logan Jacobs, no, she was not given the yellow card there. Yeah, we were going to say that was Logan Jacobs was not around there. And our crew showed the correct the correct player on the pitch who received the yellow. So Reagan and Vienna Lundstedt, the Lundstedt sisters, both have a yellow card each. Meanwhile, Handwacker over toward Rich. And too far, Yale throw in. 2:39 remaining. Yale's next match is up in Rose Hill in the Bronx. Sunday, September 14th, a 1 p.m. start. Can be found on ESPN Plus up at Fordham to take on the A-10 Rams. Always a good battle with Fordham. And again, for Stony Brook, this is match number 2 of 4 throughout this mini homestand that they've got. And right now, with a 5-3 lead, definitely the margin for really time is shrinking for this Bulldog squad. But here comes Handwacker, sends it up ahead. A little bit of hesitation there by Helling, but we know what she could do, like right like this. Here comes Helling. The physicality, a premium. Left boot in front. Tried to find Sparacio, too far. Ferreira along the 18, sends it, bounced around, and cleared out by Sands. Another marquee scoring opportunity, and again, what Hedvig Helling brings is that physicality. Here comes Bell. 2023 CAA All-Rookie Team selection 2 years ago, was a crucial part of that 23 season. Did not play a whole lot last year. Now getting back into the rhythm of things here in 25. .43 seconds remaining in this match. And now a throw in for Stony Brook. And now, again, you can exhale a tiny bit here. And again, you can see on the far side, taking her time is Manu. So with 15 seconds remaining, Stony Brook will advance to 5-2-1, 3-1-1 here inside Laval Stadium. The Yale Bulldogs, they'll fall to 2-4, 1-2 on the road. I'll let the crowd tell you how they feel about this one. So, Stony Brook, they take this one by a score of 5-3. And a much-needed return win from a season ago after Yale had taken down the Seawolves in that shocking set-piece loss for Stony Brook back in 2024. But again, that all jump-started their 2024 championship season. So, for our entire crew here on the Wax, Becca Gardner, we also have, of course, the Stony Brook women's volleyball team on hand with us tonight. Callie Moore, Hannah Bergfeld, Quinn Anderson, Kimmy Sokolowski, of course, Liam Hank, and Thomas Bardo. I'm Joey Jarzinka saying so long, and we will see you all next Thursday when the Seawolves welcome in the Campbell Fighting Camels to Laval to open up CAA play.